Hello and welcome to an extra special episode of Europhoria, a podcast about the great glam and garish from Eurovision history, and today a little bit of present. As ever, I'm joined by the wonderful, delightful Isobel Chillman. How are you doing, Isobel?
Hi, Roland. It's
an exciting day, isn't it?
It is.
It is the day that we always look forward to, the one day that brightens up January, the cold, blustery weeks of January.
My birthday!
Nope.
Oh, no, that's November.
No, not yet.
Christmas?
No, that's gone by.
Pride?
No, that's in the summer.
Oh, crap.
What
is it?
It is the day that the 6 bright-eyed and excited, slightly naive entries are released from the entries for Eurovision. You decide. They're out. We know who they are. We know what their songs are.
I think slightly naive is being polite about them. I don't know if they know what they're letting themselves in for here, do they?
So, Isobel, we're going to do things a little bit differently first. Before you explain, we're not going to do this thing differently. Isobel, would you like a glass of Saint-Chinian?
I would very much. Which country is it from?
It's from France, and it says it has a distinctive taste of Garrigue.
What does that mean?
Don't know. It's G8.
If you're French or speak French, let us know
what that means. Would you like a glass?
I'd very much like a glass, yes.
While I open it, would you explain to our dear listeners what is going to happen today on this very special day?
Yes, of course. So, Eurovision You Decide, for anyone either not in the know about Eurovision or not from the UK, is the United Kingdom's TV show to decide who our entry is going to be. So, a lot of countries around the world do similar shows. Sometimes in the past, we've just had it chosen for us and the public haven't had a vote. Normally, then it's dead crap.
Yeah.
But we have Eurovision You Decide again this year, which means that 6 entries are going up against each other this Friday night. And one of them will be chosen by a panel of judges and the voting public. I think
at least the judges will say something.
The judges will say stuff.
So they'll definitely influence the vote in some way.
Yeah. So we are actually going to be there this Friday.
So
it's going to be very exciting. Roland, bless him, bought us tickets as my Christmas and his Christmas present.
Yay.
Which was very, very sweet of him. So today's episode, we've decided we're going to do a run through of the 6 entries, have a bit of a critique, a discussion, listen to a bit of the tracks, talk about what we think of them. Maybe talk about what the general consensus of them is already out there in the public right now.
Yeah.
Ahead, because you'll be hearing this on Thursday. It'll be Thursday today when you hear this, which is the day before the actual show happens. Then we're going to record bits and pieces at Eurovision You Decide on Friday night. Then we're going to release a lovely little special mini-phoria for you off the back of that. And you're still going to have next Thursday's episode as well.
It's double episode week next week.
We're just going crazy, guys.
Bumper. I mean, it's very exciting. It feels like a proper start of Eurovision season now, doesn't it? Between now and May, I think it is when it's
Between
on.
now and when we die is Eurovision season, Roland. That's why we do this podcast.
True. So I'm just going to... a little bit of... I don't know if this is going to work.
Hey!
A lovely red wine. So here we go. I'm just going to do the...
Oh, that was a poor glug, I'll be honest.
It was a slow glug.
That was
It's probably a thicker wine.
Is that the excuse?
A lovely thick wine. Yeah. Oh, there's lipstick on this one. That's all right. I'll have it.
Oh,
That'll be mine. There we go. Cheers to the 6, the naive 6.
Cheers to you all.
Gosh. So obviously this episode is kind of entirely news. So we're just going to go straight in with any other business, and then the rest of the episode will be talking about the wonderful news that we've had today. So Isobel, do you have any other business?
So a little bit in terms of no one's given me any. We didn't. As far as I'm aware, we didn't do anything wrong last week, which is maybe a first. No one's told me we've done anything wrong, and I've not realised it.
So in our heads, we did everything right.
So in our heads, we're great. We're perfect. This is the perfect podcast. We've won. Finished.
As long as we don't listen to it, we were fine.
Yeah, it was all good. But I had some lovely feedback, actually, in the last 7 days from friends of ours and friends of mine. one of our colleagues, the lovely Nick Dinning,
Oh.
who listens to this regularly, was
Shout out to
telling
Nick
us,
Dinning.
of course, was telling me a couple of nights ago that he listens to this while doing the washing up.
Oh.
And finds it really, wants to give us feedback, and then remembers that
It's not his job.
it's not his job because we're not in work at the moment, so he doesn't need to. But I did tell him he had to give us feedback anyway.
Okay.
Love it all.
Don't forget to scrub the grime off your filthy dishes, Nick.
Oh, when did this turn sexy? Hello.
Sorry, that was terrible.
Second bit of feedback. I saw two of my friends, Matt and Ellen, at the weekend.
Hi, Matt and Ellen.
Hi, Matt and Ellen, who are both avid listeners of the podcast.
Yay.
Both of whom you have met before, but not much,
no.
and not spent a lot of time with them. Matt said that he feels like he really knows you now.
This must be what Leonardo DiCaprio feels when people go and oh, Leo, I really like you or whatever, and then no.
You've got ideas of grandeur, haven't you, lads? Jesus, I shouldn't be giving you a big head.
Oh.
And the third bit of feedback was some for me,
Go on.
which was for my friend Nikki, and she is my best friend, so she's
Okay,
nice to me
yeah.
anyway. But still, she is Jewish, and she said that my Hebrew in the earlier episodes about Israel, she said that she was very proud of my Hebrew pronunciations.
Oh, well,
there was a couple of bits that I stumbled on a little
That's
bit,
fine.
but generally she was like, I was very impressed with the Hebrew as
That's
well.
better than actually any other business from when was it we were saying a Welsh thing? That was about 3 episodes ago. I realised that you were saying Cymru.
Cymru.
And it's Cymru, isn't it? Because it's Plaid Cymru.
Bloody hell.
So
of course
just
it
going
is.
back, any other business, Cymru.
I'm so sorry,
That's okay.
guys.
Don't-
This is why we do any other business, because I don't know what I'm
Look at me
saying
though,
most of
just
the
time. But you had a compliment. I had to bring you down.
Yeah, you did.
Negging.
Sorry
about that. It's terrible.
Horrible.
Anyway,
Horrible.
okay, so that's our any other business. Isabel, shall we begin our little look over the 6, as I said, bright-eyed, fresh-faced entries for the Eurovision Song Contest?
Yes, we shall.
2017.
This is so bloody exciting.
I'm so excited. When they got released this morning, I was bloody jumping up and down off my chair in the office. No one knew why.
So to start off with, do you know who the judges are for this Friday?
I have seen. Would you like to talk through who they are?
So the 3 judges that are going to be on the panel. So it's going to be presented by the wonderful Mel of Mel and Sue fame.
Yeah.
Which is always a treat. She was an absolute gem last year.
Yes.
Me and Roland, in separate houses, were texting and tweeting about the semi-finals while they were happening, and we're really fully in love with Mel, as I think most of the nation is.
Bloody great, yeah.
Because she's hilarious. So I'm very happy that she's going to be presenting
National treasure.
And the 3 judges are going to be strictly judge Bruno Tonioli, vocal coach CC Sammy, and the most exciting one of them all, ladies and gentlemen, Sophie Ellis bloody Baxter.
Metal on the dance floor. You cannot feel the moves.
But Sophie Ellis Baxter is going to be one of the
That's
judges,
very
which is super exciting.
Yeah,
She is mega pop star
Yeah.
and absolutely iconic and brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm very unbelievably bloody excited just to be in her presence.
In the same space
Just to
as
see
her.
that porcelain
Ooh,
skin
she's going to
in real
bloody glow.
life.
It says here on the BBC website, and so I'm assuming it's fact. It says Bruno Tonioli and Sophie Ellis Baxter are forming part of the 8-person jury. Who are the other?
Whoa, I've only got 3. I got my news from gaytimes.co.uk.
No, that's what I saw as well. I mean, it doesn't even say on the BBC website who the other 8 are, so that's very odd. How are they going to fit them all in?
What?
Anyway, so
Well, it says on there there'll be 3 expert panellists. I don't know. We'll find out.
it's fake news. It's fake news.
Fake news, guys. Post-truth. What's the new one now?
Alternative facts.
Alternative facts. That's what this is, guys.
If we ever get anything wrong,
Christ
it's alternative
almighty.
facts. So, do you have an order you want to go through this in, Isabel? Or I've put a random order in my list.
No, you just go. You're in control of the music. So.
Okay. So, let's just go with how they're written on my page here. We're going to begin with Nate Simpson with the song "What Are We Made Of." Now, there is a theme with the entries this year.
You'll notice a theme quite quickly.
So, Nate, shocker, was a participant of the X Factor 2016. He made it all the way to the judges' houses, which means he got to visit Nicole Scherzinger's crib.
How exciting for him.
He sadly didn't get beyond that point. However, he did get one of my favourite quotes from possibly all of TV ever in history, which was when Nicole Scherzinger told Nate, "You opened your mouth and Jesus came out." which
I wasn't ready for that.
I waited until you put your red wine down because otherwise all of our equipment was going to be covered. Okay, so in case I have to cut some of that out, that was a good 30-45 seconds of laughter there. Shall we have a quick listen, Isobel, to a sample of the song? So this is Nate Simpson, "What We Are Made Of."
What are we made of? What are we made of? 'Cause we are more than skin and bones. We're searching for a miracle. What are we made of? What are we made of? How can we let our future die if we don't even try? Will you take my hand? Can we make a man?
So, Isobel, there we have our little sample. Mm-hmm. Would you like to give a brief overview of your thoughts?
Okay, so I've done less research than Roland. So we're just going to go into the standard, which is Isobel being judgy and Roland knowing the facts.
No. I've got judginess coming up now as well.
Oh,
that's
good.
the rest
Okay,
of
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
So on first listen earlier today, and he's very handsome, he's very cute, and he seems very talented. Will he be playing that piano bit, I think?
I don't know. I haven't seen.
That would be impressive.
That would be.
If he is, I think that will fare much better than if he's just standing there singing.
Yes.
Started off, I was like, this is okay. And the bridge kind of hooked me into it quite a bit. Yeah, then I got quite into it. We're into the chorus, into the lyrics. How can we let our future down? How can we let our future die? Very poetic, very beautiful.
Yeah.
I did fall a little bit in love with him, even though it was just stills of his face
He's,
with the music in the background.
In all of the pictures, he looks very emotional, doesn't he?
Very lovely.
He does look very lovely.
I think it's a strong contender out of the 6. I think it's very good. It's so you said in your bit, oh, is that maybe political? But no, it's not.
Yeah.
It sounds political. It does sound political. It sounds a bit... It's what we discussed in the past about how that this year's Eurovision entry should be something that's like an apology to Europe about the big mistake that we've made. Yeah. Not we. To make that clear, me and Roland didn't make a mistake with Brexit.
We made no mistake. We were right.
We voted Remain.
No any other business here.
We were the good humans. But the country made a very massive mistake in my eyes. And why we needed to have this song to be an apology to Europe or like to build bridges back with Europe.
All made from the
and
same
this
stuff.
song is a little bit you can't pretend it, you can't say it's not of that ilk.
No, and I think that there's a lot of songs here and also in general that you have lyrics that can be interpreted in both ways. There's a very sort of macro level and a micro level as well of like, oh, it's like a relationship, but it's also about guns.
Yeah, but I think it's in similar. So did you do? Going back to A-level media studies, but in A-level media studies, one of the big things we talked about was the fact that you have to make a distinction between film and media pre 9/11 and media post 9/11. I'm not saying Brexit is 9/11 in any way, but that was a big discussion in every crit we did of films or TV shows. If it was post 9/11, there would be a discussion of that. There was a context of that involved in it. It had to. Yeah. And because this is still in the immediate aftermath of Brexit, I feel the same thing works in that you kind of have to have a slight understanding of, well, post-Brexit, that does have more meaning to it than pre-Brexit.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can't think that these writers will have written these songs without being aware of that at the very least. Yeah. I mean, for me, personally, it's a rousing ballad, but for me, it never quite reaches beyond that, like, 60%. Like, if there was a big drum beat that kicked in, and there were a couple last year as well in the You Decide that were just, like, so nearly there.
Yeah, we discussed this. Some of ours that are our favourites, but they just didn't have that extra...
And it nearly went. There was one particular, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was one that would have been amazing if it if a big drum beat kicked in, and you want like the wind machine, and you want the strobes to flash, but this one for me is beautiful and beautiful voice as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we will talk about throughout all of them. Actually, is that the level of singing ability this year is actually very, very high.
Very bloody good. I think after. Not last year. Joe and Jake were adorable.
Although they were adorable, but they weren't the strongest
voices,
singers.
But 2 years ago with that bloody...
Oh my God, Electro Velvet.
Oh,
that's
why I blocked
was
it from
real
my brain.
low.
That was horrendous.
Yeah.
So yeah, the singing talent, fantastic this year.
Okay.
I think... I'm not saying... I don't want Nate to be our entry.
Yeah.
I think he's lovely and the song is lovely and I wish him all the best. But I don't think this is our strongest song.
And that's what we got to think about.
But I think this will win.
Do you?
I think this will be judged through and will end up being our entry.
It is a really beautiful song and he's got a really beautiful voice. It's not necessarily something that will be a Eurovision hit. Shall we move on to our next entry, Isabel? So next on my list, I have Lucy Jones.
Lucy Jones, who I knew without even seeing the name. Just as soon as I saw the photo, I knew who she was from yet again, the X Factor.
The X Factor.
That theme, just that odd theme running through.
So Lucy has entered this year with the song "I Will Never Give Up on You," and as Isabel rightly pointed out, she was an X Factor entry in 2009. She actually lost a deadlock to Eurovision favourites Jedward.
Oh my God! Yes, she did.
And she was in the same year as this year's Eurovision hopeful, Daniel, who we'll talk about later.
That was the all-time greatest. It was one of the all-time greatest X Factor years.
So Lucy Jones, she shares a vocal coach with Charlotte Church.
Love Charlotte Church.
Yeah,
I met Charlotte Church.
I know you have. You gave her a hug several times. She's performed in the stage shows of Les Mis and American Psycho. The big news with this one, though, Isabel, is that one member of the writing team is the winner of the song contest in 2013, Emily de Forest.
Yeah.
With her song Only Teardrops.
Yes.
For Denmark.
Yes.
So, hopes are high. Isabel, let's have a listen.
I will never give up on you. I don't care what I've got to lose. Just give me your hand and hold on. Together we'll dance through this storm. I will never give up on you. You're the one that I'm running to. Just give me your hand and hold on. Together we're dancing through this madness. We're running through this magic. It's inside.
That was Lucy Jones with I Will Never Give Up on You. Isabel, tell me what you think about Lucy Jones.
I really like Lucy Jones.
Yes.
It's not my kind of song. It's not my kind of Eurovision song, but it's very beautiful, and I like some of the lyrics. I really like the "Together We'll Dance Through the Storm" lyric. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
And with Emily behind it, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
that's a Eurovision icon right there, Eurovision winner right there, backing it. So I think at first when I listened to it, straight away ruled it out and was like, no, bored of it, not interested. It's not going to do well. But now thinking about it again, and again in a Eurovision context of seeing it at So having it performed at the finals in front of Europe on the stage with everyone there watching, I think Europe could fall in love with Lucy.
You know what? I think you've talked me around because right and up until that point I was on the similar to Nate. You know, there's not a drop. There's a key change, but it's not really like a big pow.
That's what I thought
moment.
at first. Yeah.
But you're right. If it's beautifully sung. And the key will be with these is we're listening to recorded studio versions of these.
Yeah, it's
the
how they do it live.
The key will be when we see it live. These could be
and also what they do as well. Like A, can they carry the tune and actually make it sound that beautiful live? And B, what are they physically doing when they do it?
Yes.
Is Nate playing the piano? Is Lucy playing the piano?
Yeah.
Who knows? Are they going to have odd dancers? Are they going to? The live act is all to do with it as well. And I think such a beautiful song like that needs to be very. It needs to be very toned down. It needs to be about Lucy and the song and the music.
I can see her in a big long dress with
very
a big train.
floaty.
Yeah.
She is going to basically Europe needs to fall in love with her and that song for that to win. And I think they could if it's done properly, if it's done well, and potentially that could be a high one for us.
It could, and it's a really big challenge though with something like that though, because it is entirely your voice, because there's not going to be dancers and hunky topless men or women in white lingerie.
Confusing.
So next up, Isobel, I have on my list Olivia Garcia with the song Freedom Hearts.
I'm excited for this one.
So, little Olivia. I say little. She's 16 years old.
Oh, shut up, is she?
She's 16 years old.
Oh, little babe.
That doesn't stop her from blasting out this song. Again, a common theme. Very strong vocals in this one.
Can I guess the other theme in this?
Go on. Well,
is she from a reality TV show by any chance?
Yes, she is.
Is that reality TV show from ITV?
So, Olivia from Wigan was a participant on the X Factor in 2016.
Oh, she's from Wigan.
She's from Wigan.
Good girl.
She made it as far as the 6-chair challenge, which, if you don't know, is sort of a game of musical chairs, basically. But instead of music, it's just sort of their own integrity and
bullying teenagers. It's mean.
So she made it that far. So apparently, this song seems to be about deciding or whether or not to remain in a relationship which is broken down, which normally sounds a little bit sad for a Eurovision entry. But after last year, 1944, it seems like nothing's off the table. It also seems, as we were saying, that there's probably some parallels with the political happenings. There's lines like, "Someone said, yes, we can, but we're still torn apart." So, there you go.
Critique.
Let's have a little listen to Olivia Garcia, Freedom Hearts.
Listen to whispers of all these freedom hearts. Listen real close, they will find another start. Someone said, yes, we can, but still we are torn apart. So here we are, singing, oh, we won't be running now. No, we won't stand now. We're freedom hearts, let you know. You hear the same cry, we're on the same side. We're freedom hearts. Listen to whispers of all these freedom hearts. Listen real close, they will find another start.
Well, Isobel, what was your take of Olivia Garcia's Freedom Hearts?
Favourite of the bunch. Loved it straight away.
Yes.
Absolutely in love with Olivia. Absolutely in love with the song. So clearly political messages in that one as well.
Yeah.
Not in a way that we shouldn't be allowed to enter it into the Eurovision Song Contest because it can't be too political. But that, like you said, those... So, yes, it's about a relationship, but some of the lyrics in it are so clear. So, yeah, like you said, someone said, yes, we can, but we're still torn apart. Obama, Trump, is that not right? That's got to be that. Yeah. We're on the same side. It's repeated all the time.
Yeah.
Like this is what we were saying about. This is our Euro cry of Europe. We still love you. We're so sorry that we did this. There's one of the lines in it is mad men in suits, shiny hair and shoes.
Yeah.
UKIP.
Yeah. Just politicians.
Years passing
in
by, we still have a life we just didn't choose. That is Brexit. That is us talking about Brexit. That is, for me anyway, that's a song saying we're bloody sorry.
Well, this is what you were talking about. This is probably like, you know, the metaphor political song that we needed is that it's non-political enough to get in, but it's us talking about in quite direct terms about the feelings around politics today and the feelings about, like you say, American politics, but also about Brexit.
And I think that coming from such a young person would be received very well as well, because that is part of what's going on at the moment. Is that the youth of Europe and of the world feel very disillusioned by all of these middle-aged men in suits choosing their futures for them. And so I think it's a great message. And also, at the same time, removing the political aspect of it, I feel like it has that very positive Eurovision vibe whilst also having the right level of nonsense.
Yes. Like, Freedom Hearts is just as meaningful as anything else.
That's why Eurovision songs are sometimes a bit nonsense. But that's why they're great.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Freedom Hearts means just as much to anyone
as Freedom Hearts.
Yeah. So I'm with you.
We're all Freedom Hearts.
This is probably my joint favourite, actually, and we'll go into that later on.
This is my favourite, and I think that if it... I don't think it's going to get through.
Do you not?
No, I don't think it's going to be our entry. I really want it to be, though. And I think that if it does go through and is our entry, I think it would place quite high for us.
I think you're right. Okay, let's move on just with our initial reactions to next on the list is Daniel Johnson with... Is it Daniel?
It's pronounced Daniel.
Is it really?
Because I'm sure that the entirety of the season, Simon Cowell kept saying Daniel. And Danny Minogue, who was his mentor, was like, Daniel.
Yeah,
it's Daniel.
Okay. So then Daniel Johnson with Light Up the World. So 5 songwriters on this one, a big team of writers. So Daniel, of course, auditioned for the X Factor in 2009.
Yeah.
He actually received rapturous praise from Simon Cowell, who claimed that it was the best first audition he's ever seen.
At the time it was.
At the time it was.
Incredible.
He was, at one point, Bookie's favourite to win the whole season. He eventually came fourth, losing to Joe McElderry and runner-up Ollie Murs. He did earn brief notoriety after sort of being outed by Danny Minogue.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? It was one of the really cringy,
maybe it wasn't Danny
moments.
can't have been his mentor then. Someone else is his mentor.
I think she might have been his mentor.
It was that she said he was singing about a girl.
Yeah.
And she basically said, if what we believe what we read in the press, you could have used the masculine noun for that as well.
And then it was like silence in the audience and like you could hear cricket.
I don't think she was his mentor actually.
No, okay. And that was sort of where he gained a bit of notoriety. So this is Daniel Johnson's Light Up the World.
Standing on your feet, yeah, couldn't see the way. Then I heard you say, just stay focused. Dancing to the beat, yeah, your rhythm guides away. Moonlight shows a place where we're going. Light up the world tonight. Oh, we can shine in the darkness. Light up the world tonight.
So that was Daniel Johnson, Light Up the World. Isabel, first impressions.
So I really fancied Daniel on the X Factor back in the day.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
Until he became a bit of a one-trick pony.
Oh,
which is why
really?
he came fourth in the end, which is why he went from such heights. Yeah. So he did this amazing audition to start off with, but then all of the things he did in that made him really exciting, he just did every single week, and it wasn't very interesting, and actually he didn't really grow at all. So I'm hoping that in the years since the X Factor, I mean, it's been 7 years, that hopefully he's learnt a bit and has progressed slightly. Otherwise, that's not going to be
our choice.
He's not going to go anywhere live. He sounds great. He sounded great at the time, but live, he just got a bit dull to watch.
To be fair, though, if he does become our Eurovision entry, he's only got to do one performance.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do.
He's
12.
got to do one. So
okay.
Go on though. Go on, carry on.
It's the first properly upbeat song of the group. It's
very upbeat, yeah.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
Love the beat behind it. It really gets going.
Yeah.
Love the drums. Lyrics are a bit bland.
This is my favourite lyric of the bunch, which I was going to say, because it sounds like he accidentally sang a draft version of the lyrics. My favourite 2 lines are he sings, "I feel a change in the way you move tonight," and the next line is something about the lack of sunlight. It sounds like someone just wrote, just do that and then we'll fill that in later, and then he forgot to fill it in.
Yeah, again, it just feels like they've done well with the actual melody with the song, but then they didn't put them all into the lyrics. And to say that 5 people wrote the lyrics to this, it's a bit. I mean, come on, guys.
I'm not sure if it was 5 people who wrote the lyrics. I think they wrote the whole song, but still, it's still
Roland's just him, and he does.
I do. I've secretly got a team of 20, right? Work harder. I only got 9.
Yeah, I like it, but then I don't like it.
For me,
there's a good clapping bit at the end where everyone claps together.
Well, for me, I said that Olivia Garcia was my joint favourite because actually Daniel is my other favourite. It's really upbeat, and also it really feels like they could fill the stage. There's like big drums.
Yeah.
There's a chorus. I mean, I know they've only got
Big drums are popular. At
Big
Eurovision
drums are
as
popular.
well.
I know they can only have 6 people, but it does really feel
Big
like
drums can fill up a stage.
big
though.
drums fill up a stage, and I feel like that's quite important. And it sounds like he's got a lot of energy, and he's a really good singer as well. He's got a great voice.
He's a very
in
good
this.
singer.
He
used to be a primary school teacher.
I
That's
know.
really
Oh,
cute.
that's really cute. I didn't see the X Factor when he was on it, so to me he's reasonably fresh.
Okay.
And it sounded like a song that it was probably like the song that I immediately went, yeah, that's a good song. So for me, that's joint favourite. I doubt will be widely thought of. I think most people would think of it similarly to you. I do think
feel
they
bad
would.
for him for that.
No, I mean, he's
because no, actually, no, I don't. No, I do. I feel bad for him, but I do think the lyrics are poor. And even though the song is like, yeah, powerful, the music, those lyrics are just going to fall down flat because there's no meaning behind them. There's no oomph behind them. There's nothing special. It's not like. Well, actually, when I go on to after this, we're going to just talk about some of the previous Eurovision winners from the past few years.
Yeah.
It's no Mons. It's no we are heroes. We are this. We are powerful people.
Concept.
There's no concept behind it. It's just
Yeah.
I'm singing a song and this is a Eurovision song.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we'll see. I think you're probably more right. I just had an emotional connection to him.
I'm always probably more.
He's got
right.
a lovely face.
Oh God, does he? Right.
So, next up, our second to last entry this year for Eurovision You Decide is Holly Brewer with the song "I Wish I Loved You More." Upbeat. So, Holly is clearly used to the spotlight. She supported Jess Glynn on her tour.
Who?
Jess Glynn, she's a pop singer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God, how old am I?
Oh God.
Famous.
Yeah, she's quite well known. She's done stuff with like Disclosure and people like that. But,
Who?
Shut up. She's sort of like the new Katie B, Jessie Ware kind of vibe.
I don't know who Jessie Ware is either.
Israel knows pop, and that's it.
I know pop from the late 90s, early noughties, and that's it.
And Eurovision.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fair. That gives you as good a point of view.
And X Factor up until 4 years ago.
Okay. So, you may know the people who she sung at the wedding of. She sang at the wedding
I saw this.
of Mark Wright and Michelle Keegan. Lovely wedding singer there. Of course, she was on the X Factor in 2015.
Kel Surprise. Is Simon Cowell got some sort of backhander into this? Because the X Factor have had so many entrants on Eurovision now that I legit feel we could do a Europhoria entry about the history of the X Factor.
Yeah, I feel like that would be legitimate where they all came
Totally
from. So let's have a listen to Holly Brewer's song "I Wish I Loved You More."
You're the sign and wonder I couldn't live without. Ooh, amen. And I wish I loved you more. Wanna feel my heart thumping, wanna fall down on the floor. Every time that we're touching, oh, I wish I loved you more. Wanna feel myself buzzing, wanna rush I can't ignore. Every time we touch, I wish I loved you more.
That was Holly Brewer, "I Wish I Loved You More." Oh, I like this, doing the radio thing. So, Isabel, give us your thoughts.
So again, like with Lucy, the first time I heard it, I hated it, and now I'm hearing it again. I'm kind of into it. I have had some wine though. But it starts off, the beginning of the song, I think it starts off a little bit dull. It sounds like a kind of standard pop song.
Yeah. Then
as it starts getting in, there's some good lyrics in there. It gets a little bit religious with the whole, there's a mention of like a priest or something, and it goes, ooh, amen. And that's, I like the kind of connotations and imagery there.
Yeah.
I think the lyrics get, well, when I first wrote this down in the notes, the lyrics get a bit lazy again, and I wasn't really into it, and I didn't really understand the concept of the song.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the concept of the song, but I was well into it just then listening to it. Again, it just feels, I think I was judging it a bit too much earlier, and actually viewing it as a Eurovision song, and as a bit of a nonsense Euro pop
doesn't
song.
matter. Yeah.
It's good fun.
It is good fun, and it's a proper belter, and it feels like, again, the stage will go off and there'll be strobe lights and
there'll be those when they do like the fire streaming from the ceiling.
Yeah. It definitely feels like a stage filler of Eurovision.
Yeah, but still the lyrics, it just makes sense.
Yeah, and also, well, so she said that the song is about liking being with someone, but not quite loving it enough. So you like spending time with someone, but it's not enough to make you really want to like spend your life with that person.
I don't think that's a Eurovision song. I'm sorry.
It's not really. I mean,
it needs to either be about like actual all-powerful, life-changing love, or we as the human race are going to change the world.
Political leanings, though?
No.
Maybe someone who's the wedding singer of Mark Wright and Michelle Keegan wouldn't do a political song.
Lovely, liked it. And I think probably this is going to be one of those ones that I go, oh, remember that I Wish I Loved You More song? I might have a listen to that. That's quite fun to have a bop to.
Yeah.
And it's going to go onto my Eurovision playlist of past songs that I'm quite into.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think if this got through, it would not do us well.
It would. The thing is with some of these as well is that we're going, oh, it's good because it's like a Eurovision song. But on Eurovision night, when it's third on, you forget it because it sounds like a lot of the other ones.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything special about it.
Okay. Sorry, Holly. If you're on our show as the winner and we interview you, we loved you from the start.
I always said you were going to win. This is just editing. Roland's made this sound weird. It's his fault. Blame him.
It was an audio problem. I don't know what happened.
We were listening to the wrong song.
So our last song here, and I think we left the slight curveball.
Curveball.
Oh, no one likes a curveball. I went to the doctors. Is Selena Mastriani with "I Don't Want to Fight." Clearly, so. Of course, as we've already said, and rounding off the 6 entries this year, she was on the X Factor in 2012.
What is wrong with the UK? I mean, I know this means that they're all used to being on stage, but seriously,
I know.
Reality TV is taking over our lives. Black Mirror exists.
We did say that we should have Bubble from the X Factor Bubble from Big Brother to go on Eurovision, didn't we? I feel like they quite haven't gone far enough.
No, exactly. Go further. If
you're
gonna do just reality TV show entrance, just go back. Just get Jedward back.
Just like
back. They must have some heritage that's UK, because Ireland's not putting them back in, which I think is a travesty. And Ireland, if you're listening, put those boys back in because they're beautiful angels.
There was a point in time,
and both of their Eurovision songs were incredible.
They were. There was a point in time where I genuinely thought and was happy that I thought Ireland would just go, oh, it's Jedward's now. We'll just let them go every year. Just let them tour
this is what annoys
Europe.
me about Eurovision, is that when other countries don't have the hilarious Eurovision brain that I have, things that I think are funny. So I had that same thought of just every year put forward Jedward.
Yeah.
At some point they'd win. So if they do worse, they do well. You know, like sometimes they wouldn't get through.
Yeah.
But inevitably, they'd win one year.
Yeah,
they had to. The law of averages, they'd have to win.
I feel like also Jedward are the best ambassadors in the world. Just send them to the country. They'll hang around there for the year, and then they'll go to the next country. They never need to come home again.
They don't need to sleep.
No, they don't.
They're not real humans.
24
They're
hours
robots.
a day being an ambassador for Ireland. They would be fantastic. So anyway, we've gone off track. So
sorry, Selena. Got distracted by Jedward.
So yes, this is from the same Copenhagen-based writing team as Lucy Jones's track. A team mysteriously just called The Treatment. So clearly it takes inspiration from such classics as United We Dance, Divided We Fall and Taste the Air. This is a song about world peace and disarmament, although Mastriani claims this song is just about a breakup. Let's have a listen to Mastriani's song.
I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight. We can make it right. Only love survives. We can make it right. We can make it right. If we put our weapons down, we should put down our weapons. Put down our weapons. Put down our weapons. We should put down our weapons. Put down our weapons. Put down our weapons. Why? We keep on telling lies. There's no limit, burning spirits with our
So that was Selena Mastriani with I Don't Want to Fight. Isabel, thoughts?
So less of a sneaky political agenda, I feel. Like, I get it's meant to be about a relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe don't keep repeating, put down your weapons, put down your weapons, put down your weapons, put down your weapons, guys, put down your weapons.
Yeah.
Come on, guys,
It is
put down
odd,
your
isn't
weapons. It goes on and bloody on again. I'm unsure. So I like the beat behind it.
Yeah.
I'd probably have an answer it if I went into a club and it was playing.
Yeah.
I'd have a little boogie.
Yeah.
Don't think it's the Eurovision entry though. Think that it is too blatant. Especially again, I'm sorry to do it, but we have to talk about this in post-Brexit purposes.
Yeah.
Post-Brexit UK, we go in with an entry that's
Come on,
guys,
everyone,
come
you should
on,
do what
we're
we
about
say.
peace and love.
It's
Listen
like,
to
no.
us. No, they're just going to turn around and go, shut the F up, UK.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I've ever not sworn when I wanted to swear. That's weird. I'm a changed woman. I think that's going to be a very odd premise for us to go forward with. We can't be that right now. We have to go either completely ignoring what has happened and ignoring what is going on politically right now and just put forward something fun.
Yeah.
Or we have to have something that is apologetic and
like
we understand.
self-effacing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas this is
telling them what to do.
guys,
We still know what's
I know
best.
we messed up, but we know what's good for you all, right? We used to run a lot of your countries, okay? So listen to us. No. Too much. It's too much.
So, and also that weird put down our weapons, we should put down our weapons, put down our weapons, put down our weapons. It sounds like it's trying to be like a dance. You know, when Ellie Goulding has that funny vocal effect where it's like, like, it sounds like she's doing it, but like can't afford. That was a good impression,
You could have
right?
seen Roland's face then.
It sounds like they're trying to do that effect but can't afford it, so she just has to say it really quickly.
Yeah.
We should put down our weapons, we should put down. So it's kind of that's really distracting for me. I love the way away, like that's nice, that's cool, and then the beat's really like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, great beat.
Yeah, but just that, and that's the hook of the song, and it's really distracting, and it kind of lets
pushy.
it down.
Yeah, too much. They didn't try hard enough.
So it's good, and it's a good. They didn't try hard enough. Try harder. It's like you're reviewing my songs again.
Try harder. Points.
So and again, really strong voice, and actually all of them have really strong voices, and the reason why we're not talking about really the vocal ability is because they're all really high.
They've all got fantastic voices,
which is great.
I'm genuinely very proud this year of the people who have chosen these songs, in that they've clearly decided we can't do goofy.
Yeah.
They've understood that actually some of them need to have vaguely political meanings behind them because of what's been going on in the world over the last year or so. And they've really genuinely put in people with actual talent, like real talent, which is fantastic.
Yeah. It's the songwriting.
Have they done enough?
I'm gonna sum up now this bit, and then we're gonna lead by example. And for any of the 6 who are listening to this podcast, we have some examples of how to really do Eurovision right. Yes! So we'll go into that. So summing up, I think it's a good field. I think the singing ability of all of them seem really strong. As I say, we'll see on Friday if this transfers to the live arena or if they're relying on fancy studio tricks. The other point is, good God, we've done well from the people who didn't succeed on the X Factor. All 6 of them were on the X Factor. To be honest, though, I don't think it's the worst place to find people. They've got good singing ability. They know how to perform in front of people.
They've been on TV.
They've had the pressure of the media. I don't think it's the worst thing. Maybe we look outside of just the X Factor, but it's Mans came from a talent show. Laureen came from a singing competition as well. So it's
sign of the time.
It's not unprecedented. So I think it's not the worst place. I like the funny lines, and I think we've actually been leaning quite heavily on Swedish or songwriters from Europe, and I don't think that's a bad thing. And gosh, they all look young and healthy and wholesome, don't they?
But one of the things that I am actually a little bit worried about is that when you look through previous winners from Eurovision back for the last 7 years anyway, very few of them are young. There's a handful. There's maybe 2 that are actually young'uns, like real young'uns, late teens, early 20s. The rest of them are grown-ups, and they look as such, and they act as such, and they look like seasoned performers, and
they
they're
know
very,
what they're doing.
Exactly. So to start with, last year, 2016, Jamala, 1944. She was a powerful woman with a powerful song, with an amazing message. She's bloody beautiful. A really haunting, powerful performance. Like, powerful is the word for it in every sense, in every way.
And didn't fuck around either. Talked about killing and death.
Jesus. No.
Yeah.
It was political, it was meaningful, it was heartfelt, unapologetic, exactly, and had a lot of bloody power. There was so much bloody power behind it.
Yeah.
That was it. So Jamala, incredible. That was her. Go the year before.
Okay.
Go to beautiful, beautiful Mons.
Oh,
we
my
have
God.
a little clip of.
What a man. Let's have a little listen.
What a
to
Mons, what a
Mons.
Mons, what a Mons, what a mighty good Mons.
Before we do, I didn't quite realise how many pictures of Mons Isobel was putting on our Instagram account.
Only like 3, but they're all topless.
I feel
okay?
I did.
If you're not yet following us on Instagram, I do post near naked pictures of Mons as regularly as possible. So get involved. Europhoria podcast.
I did wonder if you could set up a sister or a brother to Jedna's Day and do Mons Day.
How did I even think of that? Okay, we're going to have... So now, on a Monday, it's going to be Mons Day, and Wednesday is Jedna's Day. So Monday for Mons, Wednesday for Jedward.
Yes, that sounds good. So let's have a little listen to Mons Zemelo performing Heroes at the 2015 Eurovision final.
Now sing together. We are the heroes of our time. But we're dancing with the demons in our minds. We are the heroes of our time. Heroes. But we're dancing with the demons.
So...
Oh my God, he
good.
kills me every single bloody time. He's so goddamn talented.
And he's bloody charming and smiley and
so
gorgeous.
much charisma.
And,
Mons was, again, he was a seasoned performer. He
Yeah.
knew what he was doing. He was not a kid. Every bit on that stage, he was owning it. He owned the performance. He owned the song. It was very powerful. It had a powerful message behind it. We are the heroes. We are going to survive this. We're going to do well.
Yeah.
It helped that he's also... goddamn handsome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stunning.
Christ, that man is unbelievable.
And so it says a lot as well that, as we mentioned earlier, he won their version of the X Factor. Also won their version of Strictly Come Dancing. He's a whole package. He's a
have I not
bloody
watched this?
gorgeous pop star. So that was Mons, and yes, he took control of the stage. Isobel, I'm sure you wish he would take control of you.
I mean, yes. Yes. Okay, you go back another year though, 2014. The unbelievable Conchita Wurst, another goddamn absolutely beautiful human right there singing. Very powerful song. It's a Bond theme. That was the whole thing at the time, and everyone still talks about it. That it's a bloody Bond theme. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely iconic and total diva of Conchita with this incredible score behind it. Whoever wrote that music is amazing.
Genius.
Like, that was a winner off the bat. They must have sat back after writing that and gone, bloody done it, guys. Well, just may as well just kick back and retire now because we made the greatest Eurovision song ever. Haven't
Let's
we?
enter the winners' enclosure.
Just strolling up before it's even started. Sorry, guys, this is for us.
Reserved.
This is our bag. Don't even worry about it. It's an interesting. Obviously, it had the interesting take of the fact it was a drag queen singing it, which made it. It gave it that extra bit in terms of the stage performance. Even if it had been though, either just a man, exactly the same stage performance with a man singing it, or with a woman singing it in the traditional sense, rather than drag queen performing it, I think it still probably would have won.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's an incredible song.
But in no way was it like a novelty thing. It added so much. Rise Like a Phoenix. It added so much meaning to that song.
It gives me shivers just thinking about it.
It was absolutely stunning and absolutely well deserved winner and just so powerful. Again, powerful is the word there.
Powerful. Again, back the year before. This is when there's slight anomaly in this context. It's when we have the lovely Emily, who is one of the writers of this year's songs, of Lucy's song. It's not a bad song. It's a perfectly competent Eurovision song. I don't think it stands in the same level as Conchita or Mons or Jamala or Loreen or Alexander Rybak. I think it's there's many Eurovision songs that sound like this, but it happened to be that this year this was the favourite. I think if it had been in another year, it would not have done so well. It wouldn't have won. But she is that bit younger.
Yeah.
It's very hippish. It's very traditional.
Yeah.
And there's the lovely whistle in there.
Yeah, lovely whistle.
She does slightly rip off Lorene's barefoot look from the year before.
Yeah.
Which
It's got that.
I will take umbrage with.
Although, to be honest, that was originally done by Sandy Shaw in 1968.
There's a difference between 1968 and 2012 and 2012 and 2013.
No, you know, there was an originator of the trend, and the trend was Sandy Shaw, Puppet on a String,
You're such a
1967.
dork.
But no, you're right. Go on then, moving on.
Moving back another year to 2012 to my... I think I would even go as far as to say my all-time favourite Eurovision winner, Loreen,
Yeah.
with our podcast namesake
Yes.
of Euphoria, which I'm still obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it every day of my life. I listen to this song very regularly, will always listen to it. I genuinely think it's one of the best dance tracks ever made.
Let's have a listen to it, shall we?
It's amazing.
Forever till the end of time. From now I know that you and I going up. Euphoria, never lost a piece of us. A beating back within my heart. Going up.
That was Loreen with the song Euphoria. What a song!
She is a goddess.
Every time you listen to it, it's like it just brings up new emotions. It's amazing.
It just does things to me that no other song does. It's incredible. It was such, I think it definitely was at the time, was a new thing for Eurovision as well. Something that dancey but still that powerful. It still has it. I don't know how they did it, but it's that mixture of powerful Eurovision pop entry with, oh, actually we're going to put a bit of a dance mix on this. I genuinely think it's the best dance track ever made. Ever in the world.
I mean, it's
history of world ever, all time.
Yeah.
She, as I said, is a goddess. The performance is incredible as well. Again, she did the actual first time for quite a long time barefoot performance of just her being beautiful and dancing and doing very, rewatching it today, I've never thought about the fact it's very Janet Jackson-esque dance routine from the 90s until the ninja guy comes on at the end, and then there's some snow, and then it gets incredible again. And again, it's that extra bit of, I think most Eurovision entries have to have a bit of nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's the bit where you're like, this song's amazing, she's amazing.
And
there's a ninja guy, it's snowing, what the hell's going on? I love it. Like, that just confuses you into voting for it anyway, even if it's not good. You're like, there's a ninja in the snow.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great. And again, powerful. She is, again, not a child, not a kid, singing. She's a grown-ass bloody woman singing an incredible, powerful song that is very inspiring. Imagine being in the audience the first time you heard that song. I would have screamed until I passed out. I would have died of happiness.
And it's amazing as well, because actually the lighting for the majority of the song is, you can barely see her face.
Yeah.
And yet she still absolutely owns it. She kills it, and it's just amazing. Anyway, before we get too excited,
Loreen's the best. Loreen's the best ever.
Just making sure.
Just so you do. Just remind you guys. I don't have favourites, but Loreen is the bloody best.
We named our podcast after it. I mean, it's very clear. Right, okay.
Loreen, please come on the podcast.
Oh my God. Imagine
I'm turning into you now, just begging people to come on.
Imagine if she was sat here in your kitchen.
I can't. No.
We'd have to hire a hall or something.
Wouldn't. I can't.
Okay, so moving back in time now.
Now this is where
this is where you get disappointed.
So sorry, Armenia, but 2011's win by Elle and Nikki, the worst stage names ever. Running Scared. I mean, the less said about this, the better, if I'm all honesty. Of all the... I don't even know how it won. It's a Eurovision song. It's a perfectly fine Eurovision song.
Yeah.
Not a perfectly fine Eurovision winner.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Emily, I can go, Yeah, all right, you
Yeah.
won. I don't think it was the strongest
No,
year.
but-
I think if you'd gone up against someone else, you wouldn't have done.
But that year, having that as a pin of this is the winner this year, fine.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fine. Got no
Yeah.
beef with that. Ella Nikki,
No.
it's not. It's
You know
not
what?
Good.
We're not even going to listen to it. We're going to move on. It was the
Next
exception,
one.
exception to the rule, guys. Exception to the rule.
2010, Leno with Satellite,
Oh,
which is a great
yay.
song again. Again, another young'un. So, but now we go further back. You can see that they do actually some of the younger performers, maybe 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And beyond, younger was better
Yeah,
for
there's a
a
trend.
while.
There's
There
a
was a trend of younger performers would win, whereas I think the trend is now that older performers are winning, so more seasoned performers are winning. It's a ridiculously catchy song. From the first time you hear it, I think it was something very different for Eurovision as well. She is unbelievably likable.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
just watch it, and within 20 seconds you go, she's great. I could hang out with
Yeah,
her.
exactly.
She's a nice girl.
Yeah.
She's great. And I'm sure as a teenage boy, you'd be like, I've got a big old crush on that
Yeah.
girl. And she's got a really interesting voice. And at the time, I think it was something very different for Eurovision in terms of the style of the song
Yeah.
and the message behind it, because it wasn't a really like... it's just like a fun love song. It's
Yeah.
like a fun, silly love song,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a bit off-piste.
Yeah.
But she's just goddamn adorable.
Yeah. And it does seem like there is a trend that it's gone from sort of adorable and cute into like people, women and men owning their songs.
Yes. And so this is what I mean. This is a problem. So
Yeah.
when you then, again, go back another year, 2009, to
Yes.
Alexander,
Yeah.
that same theme of back then, which we do have a lovely little clip of.
Let's
Love
have a
Alexander.
let's have a little clip of this, and I get to see his lovely face as well. Here we go.
And we were sweethearts. That was then, but then it's true. I'm in love with a fairy tale, even though it hurts. 'Cause I don't care if I lose my mind. I'm already cool.
So there we have, and my God, we're seeing him on Friday.
Oh my God, yeah, he's going to be at Eurovision. You decided he's going to be performing, and I'm going to
Yeah.
see that live and I see his little lovely little face.
his
So our friend Benji adores Alexander and is very jealous that we're going to go see
Yeah.
him this Friday. Alexander is, I don't know if you know too much about him. He's got an incredible backstory behind him.
We're going to do an episode on him, or
Benji's going to do an episode
as a
on him.
guest,
I've
yeah.
promised him that
Yeah.
one because
Yeah.
he knows more about Alexander than I think anyone else in the world.
Yeah.
And Alexander is going to be great content.
Oh my God.
But he's fantastic. Part of me wonders why I love this song so much, but it is one of the greatest
It is
Eurovision
so
songs
good.
ever.
Yeah.
He is just... It's very traditional, which again
Yeah.
can be can work in Eurovision's favour when you have a very traditional song from your country or from your culture. It kind of works with that.
It's a little bit of authenticity. It's
Yeah.
like this is my country's heritage, and this is my
We're not just doing
background.
pop.
Yeah.
This is our heritage. This is where I've come
yeah.
from. He has just this lovely little handsome,
I know,
beautiful
cheeky little face.
little face.
Oh, got
And he
little
plays the violin, and he's got these fun dances, and everyone's having a really fun time when you
Yeah.
watch the performance. There's some traditional dancing in it. It's all just very, but it's still very camp and very charming at the same time.
You know what though? And I would say as much as any of the other ones we talked about is he fucking owns it, because it's like he plays
takes control of that stage.
Yeah, he plays like cute and I'm doing cheeky looks to the camera, but every look and every move is like absolute control, and that's why he won it, because it was completely in his control and he had the audience in his bloody hand.
But this, okay, so Alexander, incredible, loved it, still love that song, still love that performance, and watching it today reminded me of how great he was.
Yeah.
But I feel that young performer theme has gone.
Yeah.
The theme more recently has been, as we've discussed, someone that bit older, someone who really owns the stage, someone who's singing a very powerful, strong song in a very powerful performance with a lot of meaning behind it. And that could be something that's a bit more smiley, sexy like Mans, or something that's singing about a war like Jamala.
Yeah.
But that's what it has to be. And so my worry for us this year is that all of our performers are too young.
Yeah.
with not enough power behind them.
I mean, I agree with you. There's a lot of young people there. Ironically, I think Olivia, who's the youngest, probably has the most sort of like
Most powerful song.
a powerful song and like
Definitely.
owning its song.
But that's why I'm worried, because she's only 16
Yeah.
and if that was in an older performer's hands,
Yeah.
that could potentially be a winner.
Yeah.
But it's all going to be whether or not she does it well
Yeah.
on Friday and actually gets through.
Yeah.
And then if she gets through on Friday, if she actually on the
Yeah.
night owns it as
Yeah.
well and shows that power and
Yeah.
really has some oomph behind it.
Just before we end, and actually this is from a website that I use a lot, and if you listen to this and you haven't heard of the website, then you should definitely go on. It's a website called weeblogs.com, which is a Eurovision website, not one of Donald Trump's favourite sort of websites. This is a Eurovision news website, and they've set up a vote to determine who is the public or whoever's reading that site's favourite entry. Shall I run them? I'll run them from the bottom up.
Okay.
So in number 6 position with 8.08% of the votes, that's 86 votes, is Daniel Johnson with Light Up the World. That's the lowest.
Okay.
5th position is Nate Simpson with What Are We Made Of with 8.93% of the votes. Which
I'm already going to disagree with all of the voting public there, because you've just put the two boys at the bottom
Yeah,
when
the
actually
two
they are better
boys.
than some of the girls.
Yeah, so then in 4th position is Lucy Jones, Never Give Up on You, with 13.16, 140 votes. 3rd position is Selena Mastriani with I Don't Want to Fight, with 16.35%, 174 votes. 2nd, Holly Brewer, which I lived with. I wish
Olivia's
I loved
first.
you more. Olivia is first by some way with 32.9% of the votes.
Yes.
That's 351 votes.
Guys, I'm so proud of you, whoever's voting on that. Well done. Olivia, I think genuinely
Has a
is
chance.
our best chance
Yeah.
at not being embarrassed this year. I'm not saying she's got a good chance of winning, because none of us do, because we're an awful nation. We're a very awful nation.
Sorry about that.
So sorry. We can't apologise enough. But Olivia has the best chance of doing well and actually getting us back vaguely in people's good books.
Yeah.
So yes, Olivia. Freedom Hearts.
So there we go.
Freedom
So,
Hearts.
as Isabel said at the start of the podcast, we're going to give you a bonus episode, and we're not sure necessarily what day it's going to come out. I think early next week.
Yeah.
But we're going to give
do
you
it this weekend.
yeah, I think so. We're going to give you a bonus episode with clips from the event itself on Friday, and we'll sum up what we experienced, and we'll have a discussion about the winner and all of those things.
Maybe I'm gonna try and hunt down Sophie Ellis Bextor. I'm gonna try. I promise. I will try my hardest.
Oh my god! Imagine if we get Sophie Ellis Bextor on the podcast.
I'm gonna dress really smart.
Yeah.
And so I look official.
Yeah.
And then if I just say to her, we have a Eurovision podcast. When we're there, obviously there's going to be a ton of other big Eurovision fans, so we're going to try and chat to other people about who they like and who they think is going to win, and if we know of any other entries from other countries, and get some other input from other big old Eurovision fans. And I am personally going to hunt down any celebrities and see if they will give us some quotes and some chats. Mainly Sophie Ellis Bextor, because she's a goddess. But I would take anyone, really.
So hopefully next week's episode will be the most star-studded episode yet, because so far it's just been us talking about celebrities.
Just me staggering around with a glass of Prosecco. Daniel, come and talk to us. I'm not saying Daniel's not going through.
No. He will. We'll have to interview him and hear this. So do tune in, and then next Thursday we'll have a straight up normal regular episode of the podcast with some good stories and another song from me.
I can't wait to hear your
I know.
song.
Sadly, and I meant to start with this. Sadly, I wasn't considered for entry this year, but there's always hope for next year.
Next year.
And so we remember.
Oh, and also soon enough, I don't know if it'll be next week, but just as a little teaser, Roland and I will also be at a Eurovision party this year that will be taking place in Peckham in London in the UK.
Yes.
I can't go into any more details right now because it's not my night to be announcing.
It's not confirmed.
And it's not all. It is
Like,
definitely.
no, sorry.
It's definitely
all the
happening,
details aren't.
But the details will come.
Yes.
But we will be alongside a lot of other big old Eurovision fans.
It's going to be a big Eurovision party.
It's going to be an amazing Eurovision party in Peckham in London on Eurovision.
Yes.
We will be there and we will tell you the real details behind it, hopefully in maybe 2 weeks' time, I would hope.
If you want to start booking flights now, feel free.
Come on over. You can't stay with me, Roland.
No, I mean,
No.
there's hotels.
There's Airbnb.
There's and I've got
Find
a tent,
somewhere.
I think. I've got a tent.
But I will high five you
oh my
if you
God.
come from another country.
No, I mean, I'll buy you several drinks. And if you are coming, give us an email. So you can email us at europhoriapodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We love getting your emails.
Oh, it's so nice.
exciting
It genuinely
and so
fills
lovely.
me with joy every time we get something or a little message, or even if it's just like something on Reddit. It's just really nice that someone said something about us, which is great. And we're also on Instagram. So Instagram is Europhoria Podcast.
Yeah, and we now have Mons
Day and Jedness Day. We're going to fill every day of the week with a different Eurovision person.
Yes, and on Twitter as well. And then today I was tweeting out all of the entries as they were announced by the BBC, and we tweet out about us and little pictures and things like that. So be
Roland
sure.
tweets horrible pictures of me, actually.
Eating pizza.
It's the least flattering photo ever taken of me in the world.
I liked it. It was Isobel in her prime.
I'm very attractive.
Come on
If I do
Eurovision
say
night
so
and you
myself.
will see
How
Isobel
goddamn
dolled
attractive
up
I
to
am.
the nine.
Oh, actually, now if you come on Eurovision night, you will see me dressed as a iconic Eurovision entry.
I mean, even I don't know what that is.
No, you don't,
That's
because I'm
very
keeping it a
mysterious.
secret.
Right, well, I think I'm going to wear a tuxedo. So that is all we have time for today. It's been really good, and I hope you enjoyed this slightly shifting up
Slightly rambly.
of the podcast. I'll trim it down, don't worry.
You're going to have a lot of editing to do.
So thank you so much for listening. We'll have a double episode week next week, so be sure to tune in and do rate and review us on iTunes. It helps us get more and more listeners. But as we sign off in the same way each week, as Nate Simpson asks himself, what are we made of?
I don't know, it's mostly water, isn't it? I don't know.
Hey! Thanks for listening and goodbye!